Hi, this is Dr. Stinson. This video is going to be about how to book your online meetings with me during my office hours. And of course, 2 of these will be required this semester so that we can go over and grade your first 2 papers in each of my classes. So there's 2 parts to this. One is the online booking, going through my website to select your slot and confirm it. And the other is going to be Zoom itself, which will be our main video chat platform. So I'm going to hit on that just a little bit, even though I know some of you might be familiar with that. So let's start with how do you book? So first off, let me share my screen. There we go. And we're going to start with the syllabus. That's going to be the first place, you can actually see my office hours listed, and it will include a link to Calendly, which is the website that hosts my booking. If you want to bookmark this the first time you use it, so you don't have to come back to the syllabus or Blackboard, that's fine, whatever works for you. But it will be on the syllabus itself. And of course, the syllabus will be available on Blackboard. Under syllabus, you can find it there as well. I'm also including instructor info on Blackboard. And if you click on that, you'll see this page. And again, the link will be here again. So there's a few different places to find it because I want to make sure you can find it. So when you click on Calendly, it's going to take you to a very boring white screen with a little box that you can click on that says 15-minute meeting. That is the increments in which you can book. If you ever feel like you do need a 30-minute meeting, just book 2 slots in a row. That's fine. Maybe you don't even need a full 15 minutes. We'll talk about that in a little bit at the end. So you're going to click on this, and there'll be a little more description about what the meeting is, what we can do, and you're going to see the calendar. Now, you cannot book meetings less than 12 hours in advance and no more than 14 days in advance. That's just to give me ample time to prepare, and also so that someone's not filling up my entire calendar when I need to portion out between all my classes. So to show you what it looks like, we're going to just start here with Thursday. And it looks like I've got a few slots left, so I'm going to pick 11:30 and confirm. So I'm going to put my name, Felicia, and email. I'm going to use my personal email so that you can see the difference between the email that I get that confirms and the email that you get. But please don't send emails to my personal email. Thank you. You can also add guests. This isn't a function I imagine we'll be using often, but it is there if you need me to jump in on your group working on something or partner you're working on something with. If you want to include them, that's fine. That's something I did last semester. I jumped in on Zoom calls for groups that were working on assignments together or individuals working on assignments. So then I just need to know what this meeting is for. Not with a lot of detail, just is this for a draft you want to go over? Is this because we're grading a paper you've turned in? Or do you just have some questions, help, feedback that you want from me? Now, if this is a draft, just keep in mind that I'll need to see that ahead of time. So if you can send that to me via email, at least a few hours before your meeting, that would be very helpful. I also have this, although it's completely optional. Most of you in the surveys seem to be really fine with Zoom. You're comfortable using it. You don't really need the extra preference, but there was a handful of you who really seemed to want another option besides Zoom. I'm happy to provide that on these small exceptions. Last semester I tried jumping around between all 3 platforms. It didn't really work, so I'd like to stick more consistently to Zoom. But for just a few of you who really, just because of your phone or your internet access, just something else works better, I don't mind. But this is that box where you would put that preference, and then we'll work that out via email a little more independently. So then, yeah, I'm just going to pick one of these and schedule the event. And so here in a moment, I'm going to get a little ding in my email that's going to tell me that you have confirmed and booked a meeting with me. Ta-da! So just to show you what that looks like. So again, it just gives me a little overview. It tells me who has booked. Probably should have put my last name. That would have been a little more efficient. the email, what time. It also tells me what time zone you're in, if that's different, because you will see the booking calendar in your time zone, which you're in. And then of course it tells me what Zoom URL to use, which I've set it that it should use my personal meeting ID, so that it doesn't have to send you a bunch of different Zooms, but we'll double check all that. So let's actually double check that and make sure and look at, oops, it'll figure it out. And look at the email that you'll be getting, because it looks a little more complicated at times, but I don't want you to be worried about that or feel super confused, because really you're just looking for, I got the confirmation email, and that there is a link to Zoom if that works easier for you. That's really the only two things we're looking for in that email, even though I know there's a lot of things listed in it. And if my computer will work a little faster, I'll show you that a little more detail. Obviously, recording is a little slowing it down just a little bit. There we go. All right, so see, it kind of looks a little complicated. There's a lot here, but again, all we're really looking for is when and where. And this link, all you got to click on. So when you're ready for your meeting, you click on this. It's going to take you through, asks if you want to open, all that good stuff. So I'm actually already in the meeting room right now. So again, if you open, it will generally be a little thing that looks like this. You can join and input that number specifically, but if you click on that link and you're signed into Zoom, it should really just open automatically. I do have a waiting room set up. So you'll be able to join, but I think I have to let you in, and I might have the mute automatically set up. I'll double check that. But you should be able to unmute yourself and turn your video on, all that good stuff. If you have any trouble with that, you can see these bars here, which they'll be the top, bottom, depending on how you have your screen set up. Your mute, your video buttons, that sort of thing. I'm going to be the only one that can share a screen, but that is because our meetings. So the other part I want to go over is essentially how we're going to use these meetings to grade things. So I'm actually going to show you some of my own work right now. So these are scraps from a novel I'm working on. They're terrible, that's why they're scraps. Just ignore that. But the idea is, if you submit your papers as Word docs, what I can do is, while we're talking like this, I'm going to go to review. And I'm going to turn on the tracking. So track changes, I'll mark up. And so I can do things like, actually, that's the wrong tense, I'm going to put that in. Or I have a question about this, why is this your transition? And essentially a lot of these comments are going to be determined by what we discuss in your meeting, so that it's a little bit of a record keeping, but also we get to highlight some of the things that essentially you need more work on. So we can look at, well, what are the main areas and examples we can use that you can look at, and so forth. And then when we're done, we'll save this, and essentially I'll attach it to where you submit on Blackboard. And that's going to get into some stuff later that if we need to go over, we can. I'd like to do that in class, I think once or twice, so that everyone can see that a little more clearly, because it really works better if I can have a student log in and show you from that version, because everything looks different on my end as the professor. But that's how essentially these meetings will be helpful, so that we can share the screen, go over your papers and so forth, and then send those track change versions back to you. And of course, I'll talk more about visible grading in class and some other videos. So yeah, that's how to book with me. It's relatively simple. And if you need to book for more than just 2 meetings, I'm happy to have you for more. Come to me for all the drafts you want. And it just makes it a little easier. It's so that you can jump in whenever you get the chance and whatever fits your schedule. If there were to be an issue where my usual office hours don't work for you, let me know. I don't mind adding some specific times or setting up something outside of the realm of that. The other thing is, some of you may be like, oh, I don't need 15 minutes. I just need to ask a question or 2 questions. One, you can do email and just send those to me. Or you really want to talk them out in person, that's fine too. I know one of the things a lot of us have missed, me included, is that personal interaction. So one thing I'm going to try to do this semester is, even if I don't have a meeting booked, while I'm in office hours, I will periodically try to keep my Zoom meeting room open. So like just camera on while I'm working on some things. And if you just want to jump in and see if I'm there, same way you would stopping by my office, give it a shot. I might be around. You can also check my office. I will be on campus a fair portion of the time outside of class times. Not maybe every office hour, because I'll just be available during online and that counts. But I will try to be in my office. The only caveat there is I won't be wearing a mask while I'm in my office because it's just me. So you can't come in, but you can come to the doorway and we'll put our masks on and talk if we need to. There is enough space there. I think that would be all right. I have a fairly big office. There's at least 6 feet or so between my desk and the door, which I know is not the same for every professor's office. So don't think that you can go to every professor's office. And again, that's more of a last resort. Again, I think email or jumping into my Zoom personal meeting room. And if you need access beyond that, again, that's on the syllabus here, but I'm going to have a direct link on Blackboard as well. Zoom access, and it's a tool link and it goes straight to Zoom as well. It launches it. And again, I think this looks a little different on your end as students, but on my end, this is what it looks like. And that personal meeting room is what I'm looking to do. And again, there's the invite to that if you need it. So I'm hoping it just sends you to my personal meeting room, but I'm not sure what it looks like on your end. So if anyone has trouble with that, let me know, or if you have access issues. So I think that covers the Zoom meetings and the online booking. Again, if you have questions, let me know, send me emails, or in our first face, we will talk about some of those. So I look forward to seeing you in person and online.